Stay up all night partying and drinking everyone's blood. Just me. Hi guys, I just finished watching We Are the Night, which is a vampire flick. I haven't watched any vampire films. Let me just get a nice place on the floor. If I am correct, I actually haven't watched any vampire films. It's 31 Days of Horror, so I'm actually really glad that I finally got around to one, or at least had one on my list. The film is actually from 2010, and it is a German film, which I was very happy about because I don't think I've watched any German films this month as well. The film is based around a girl who kind of is, I don't want to say off the tracks or whatever, but she can tell she's struggling in life, and she meets a vampire. It is trying to be like a romantic kind of like, through the centuries we stay alive and everyone around us dies, and it tries to be super deep, and it's very true at the start about that, which is very cheesy, and it's a vampire story that's been told in many different ways before. Only Lovers Left Alive, An Interview with the Vampire, I always say that wrong. You know, it's like the sadness and the immortality of these poor creatures that just have to live forever and be really rich and just like party all night and just have really nice things and meet everyone and like learn several different languages, and it's really hard. If I could be anything, I'd totally be a vampire. Come on, they have it made. But in this film, it definitely hits all the cliches. All the characters are very cliche to just other movies you've seen before. You have the quirks girl, and then you have, you know, she's like the main chick and she kind of falls in love with a guy, which is completely out of the blue. You have the big vampire, like the main chick, and she's just like a boss bitch, but she's like really aggressive, and it's just very cliche to vampire films. So although that was annoying, it was kind of cool to see. I think that the film was actually done really well. The locations they used, it really went all out. I would say the cheese factor is quite high though, and there was certain elements, just like when I was talking about the film yesterday, which is so insane, where they had animations where they didn't have to. At one point they're in the plane and they show a plane going through the sky that's not even real, which made no sense to me. Because if you're gonna have a plane, then just have a footage of a plane and not animation of a plane anyway. And then also it just when they're kind of, you know, going out in the sun and all those kind of things, or having big fight sequences, it's just very heavy animation, graphics, CGI bullshit. So I wasn't into that. I thought they could have made it a little bit more vampire, romantic, timeless if they took those elements out. Also if they took, like, stripped a little bit away from the clichéness of the characters. But it is a very interesting watch, and it's one of those satisfying movies because, you know, you want to be the vampire. You want to have the Ferrari. You want to go racing down the street and stay up all night partying and drinking everyone's blood. Just me. But I did kind of enjoy it for that, even though it was a bit cheesy. It was a really easy watch for me. I would also say that this film is a roller coaster of emotions because it goes through, you know, the romantic stage, the action-y, or not really comedy, but it tries to get there. It tries to make you chuckle. It is interesting and gripping in that way because you're always up or down or wherever, so I commend it. It has a lot packed into, I think it's an hour and 40 minutes if I'm correct, or an hour and like 39, 50. I think that's exactly what it is. But one other thing that I found really interesting about it, and I wonder what you guys think about it, let me know in the comments if you've seen this film or if you haven't, what you think about this, is they really make a strong point in saying that they are the only female vampires. There's no male vampires, and they're like, all the males are too dumb. Which I thought was really funny, and it makes it such a feminist film, and obviously they're very sexually mature. They went for like all these really old soul wise things that they did and they said, but then they went to like quirks maturks, and it was a little bit like they were trying to make it that romantic vampire story, but they also wanted to make it really modern, so it was a little bit of a clash and a little bit cheesy. I hope I'm making sense, guys. Two interesting facts about this film. There was 200 digital effects in the film in total. Crazy. And one that I think you guys will really love is that the word vampire is not said once in the film. But I mean, Do you really need to say vampire if someone has fangs and has blood? I enjoyed this film as more of a guilty pleasure, so for that I'm gonna give it a 6. For different reasons than I gave a 6 yesterday. More because, again, this is not my kind of style, but I can understand that it was an interesting film in all, as like a whole. And I think a lot of you guys who don't mind getting a little bit of a cheesy vampire, especially if you like vampires from like Supernatural or things like that, I'm sure you guys would love this film. If you have seen it, let me know what you thought down below in the comments. I do love reading your comments, guys. I know it might seem like I'm not replying as often as I normally do, but I promise I am reading them all. It just takes me a while to reply with the 31 days going on, but I'll get to every single one like I normally do. So I'll talk to you guys very soon. I can't believe it's nearly over, but I can at the same time. 31 videos in a row is a lot. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Stay spooky. Bye!